Oh, there you are. Nothing, I'm just thinking, and wearing a groove in the floor for my efforts. I wish we could get the Queen's approval. It's been 3 days since we presented our plan. She read the notes from Lady Grimald, she heard Braylin's testimony. We all used the truth serum in her presence. Yet, she has not given us her approval, and the Griffin King is likely to reach his destination soon. He will see that the rebel stronghold is deserted and will be turning back shortly thereafter. Meanwhile, his daughter is waiting on us, several weapons, and 2,000 soldiers to be able to overthrow him and his supporters. She must have at least a week to prepare, which leaves us very little time to get an answer from our queen. No, Mother is usually so quick and decisive. I know that she's been busy, but one would think that she'd be eager to remove one of the kingdom's biggest thorns from her side. No, Lady Grimald's plan is foolproof, really. She just needs the manpower to make her move. Even if one of her supporters changed sides at the last moment, they would find themselves unprepared to do anything about it. Our warriors would then flank Lord Grimald's convoy and escort them to the Griffin's forward camp, where they'd be faced with a choice: side with his daughter and be extended mercy, or be taken into captivity with Lord Grimald to be held accountable for treason. Of course I do. I wouldn't have pushed for this plan unless I trusted Lady Celeste implicitly. We knew each other as children. Even though she's a few years my senior, I had many opportunities to spend time with her over the years. She is tough and commands respect, and is perhaps a bit blunt, but she was always the first to make a compassionate choice. To be honest, when I first heard that she was at her father's side, I found it hard to believe that she could be the same young woman who rescued a nearly frozen kitten by hiding it in her sleeve on a winter feast day. Her servants offered to take care of it for her, but she was determined to do it herself. That was when she was about Braylin's age. She even danced and feasted with it carefully tucked up against her, checking on it now and then, like it was her only mission in the world. When Braylin confirmed that she still had those compassionate qualities, I knew I hadn't been mistaken. Lady Celeste is as she always was, just hiding it behind a careful facade to keep her father in check. So yes, I trust that she's telling the truth and that she will succeed. I know her to be honest and tenacious and always looking out for those in her care. It's not at all surprising to me. Her father may be unhinged, but her grandfather, he was the epitome of a good leader. While Lord Grimald crusaded across the continent, stirring up trouble and spreading vile lies about the Dragon Line, his own father was raising Lady Celeste, much in the same manner as my parents raised me. I know the thought is akin to treason, but our people would thrive under her leadership if the Griffins were to take the throne from us. But first, the kingdom would endure hardship and senseless violence at the hands of her father. Who knows what sort of irreparable damage he could do, especially with this storm of magic we've unwittingly created. But enough of my ruminations. How has your day been, dearest? I thought not. I know that if the scholars had found anything, you would have let me know straight away instead of allowing me to ramble on for ages. At least narrowing down to the most useful documents should save us some time. How was Braylin when you checked on her? Somehow that does not surprise me. If that girl had been old enough to command human revolutionary armies, they would have already defeated all of us. Luckily, she's on our side, and running several academics ragged is mostly harmless, since it's for a good cause. I am inclined to think that, while they know the tomes better than anyone, she will be drawn to the right subject matter. I sensed that her connection to magic is unusually strong for one who has been made, rather than born. The headmaster at the academy confirmed it when I asked. She perhaps may never learn how to hone it, but her instinct is going to prove invaluable in the weeks to come. When all of this is over, I'd like to offer her a proper education. Not a magical one, since she's a griffin now, she will need to be taught by their masters, but I'd like her to attend a regular academy here. Let her learn history, writing, politics, and of course, immerse her in the arts, dancing, music, things that a child her age can enjoy doing and learn from. When I look at her, I see the girl I could have been, had the king and queen not looked into my cradle, if they had instead chosen the baby next to me. Every wonderful thing I have, my upbringing, my titles, my education, my finery, my magic, even you, my spouse, all of it I only have because of that one small decision. The importance of it is not lost on me. No, it's not that. I'm troubled by something going on here at the palace. Not related to the war. At least I don't think so. I don't know what it is exactly. All I know is that Ambrose has been acting strange. He's been avoiding me, almost. When he's come in to deliver messages, he's been strained. Won't talk about anything off task. He won't look me in the eye. He just made one comment when we arrived a few days ago. Quietly, he said, "You've returned just in time." But he wouldn't reply when I asked what he meant. Yes, we are close. That's why it doesn't make sense that he's acting like this. That could be. Mother has ordered him to keep things in confidence before, just like she did when she planned for us to wed. If Ambrose disagrees with her, if he believes something should be shared with me, he may find it difficult to be in my company, especially since it's always been so easy for me to read him. He is loyal to me, as a friend and as the heir to the throne, but that is superseded by his loyalty to the ruling monarch, as it should be. I wish I could speak to Mother. Our meeting with her was so brief, I barely got a chance to say hello, and she's been taking meals in her chambers while she works. All of this has made me so uneasy, to the point where I'm seeing a threat in every shadow. I do not work too hard. I do fun things. I danced at our wedding. Well, yes, I did have to, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Now. But dancing without music. Oh, it's common for Sephiroths to dance without music, is it? Well, all right then. You know, I did mean to compliment you the night of the wedding. You're a lovely dancer. We have a sort of joke here that all Northerners are good at couples dancing like this. It seems such a common part of the culture in Saphira, especially. Dancing lessons at such a young age. How did they keep you interested? Well, pastries would have worked on me, so I can't fault that method. I had my first dance lessons at nearly twice that age. I was already 9. I was not a very good pupil, I'm afraid. I often evaded the dance tutor in favour of practising swordplay with the gods. Mother was at her wit's end after a dozen reports of me sprinting off down the hallway in the middle of a lesson. I did eventually learn, yes, but I had to be bribed. Father told me that if I could demonstrate mastery over dance, he would reward me with armour and a sword of my own. For each type of dance I completed, I would get a new piece. Well, I was the only young royal in history to have my own functional armour and master all 9 types of dance, as well as our 2 traditional festival dances by the age of 12. I would say it was quite effective indeed. And he did help me practice.
Your Royal Highness, the Queen has requested your presence. You are to meet in her chambers. Just you and her.
Ambrose, tell me what's going on, please.
I believe she wishes to discuss your plan to quell the Griffin King, Your Highness.
That's not what I mean. What haven't you been telling me?
Please, Princess. I've made an oath to the Queen. Do not ask me to break it. You will know all soon enough. Now please, attend to her.
Do I look that worried? You saw the way he acted. I know something is wrong. No, you don't need to wait here for me. I can find you after. All right, if you insist. I'll be back. She's dying. No, she's ill. I thought we'd have more time. Thank you. How much do you know about the Battle of Zagus? Yes, the dragons did win. My mother was in my role at the time, commanding the airborne forces. The enemy used bombs with a deadly concoction inside. Those that were caught in the explosions did not survive. There was not even enough left of them to identify. It wasn't until a few months later that several warriors began to experience symptoms, some severe. My mother was one of them. One of her first acts as queen was to spearhead a scientific study into the ailment and its cause, and she was the one who indicated that all of those affected were present at the Battle of Zagus. After some study and some detailed interviews with all of those who fell ill, they realized that the fumes released by the explosions contained minuscule sharp crystals that had lodged themselves in everyone's bodies, too small to be seen with the naked eye. Some were buried in bare skin, others were inhaled and made their way into the victim's bloodstream. Those without magic died within 5 years. Those with magic generally survived longer. The longest lifespan was given to those who were in a shifted form upon contact, like my mother. Even when I was a small child, it was known in our family that it would slowly sap the life from her, but the healers and the court mage all said she was likely to see her 60th summer, and while she occasionally felt pain and fatigue, she normally barely noticed it, and was able to carry on without any problem. I never considered that it might be moving faster, that it might grow more painful for her. She's been suffering terribly these last months, and instead of resting, has been using her time to set me up for success, ensuring a smooth transition of power even though we're at war. Everything that has happened to me in the last year has been her preparing me for the throne, sending me to fight in key battles, allowing me to personally attend to refugees when I'm in the city, constantly encouraging me to take the lead at the war table even when it's her place to decide. Even you, she wanted me to marry into a strong alliance, but also to have someone to support me when the crown is thrust onto my head, to ensure I wouldn't be alone. Everything she's done has been for me, and now she's not certain exactly when, but the court mage says that I will be queen within a fortnight. No, I'm not ready. How can you be so certain? I am not so strong as all that. I don't want to face the kingdom right now. There is so much to do, and yet all I want is to stay here, in your arms. I would be very glad of your help. Well, she has given me full control over the Griffin situation, so if you will send word to Lady Grimald and also send her the resources she asked for, then that will leave me free to work with Ambrose concerning the coronation. Though, as he's known about this for some time, I imagine he's already prepared and planned for the occasion, even though it must have broken his heart to do so. Yes, Mother told me he was quite vocal about keeping such a secret from me. Bordering on insubordination, she said. But it brought her comfort to see how loyal he is to me. Honestly, it comforts me too. I was so worried when I noticed him acting strangely. Now I know why. He was ordered not to tell me so that I wouldn't be distracted. So that I wouldn't spend these past months grieving for her before she's gone. I'm not angry with her. I likely would have done the same. No, please. I need a moment before we do all that. Just let me be here with you a little while longer.